Imagine Speed without the bus, without Keanu Reeves, without the tension, and without the story. We saw Speed 2, Cruise Control, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater, cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? But let's just get right into it. I am joined, as always, by June Diane Raphael and Jason Mantzoukas. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. We all are in studio here.
Look at that.
For the first time in a while. This is exciting.
It's big.
Also joining us today is the host of Comedy Bang Bang. He has a brand new show coming out on IFC every Friday night. Please welcome Scott Aukerman.
Oh, you sound like you were about to say more. Scott Aukerman, who is my best friend.
According to New York Times, the den mother of comedy.
Den mother.
Den, really?
Very sweet.
It's fucking Zach Galifianakis. That's his quote. He knows I'm a man.
Anyway, so Speed...
You do have substantial tits.
Thank you. You're sucking on them.
Nourishment.
All right, so we decided...
And we're off.
We decided what better way to kick off our so bad they're good summer movie blockbusters with Speed 2 Cruise Control, the ill-conceived sequel to Speed. A movie that could not have a sequel, really. It ended perfectly. And what they did was they took the side character, Sandra Bullock, and made her front and center. Now, Sandra Bullock doesn't do anything in Speed besides...
Hang on, excuse me.
Wait. She just drives the bus.
She drives the bus.
You're miming doing a steering wheel. May I point out she also presses her foot down
You're right.
upon the accelerator.
You are right. So she is now the lead of this movie, and clearly this movie was written for Keanu Reeves.
Well, I have to interject. It was not written at all. If you do some research, they did not have a script.
Well, basically...
Is that right?
What?
Yes. Graham
What are you
Yost,
saying?
the guy who wrote the first Speed movie, had a great idea for a sequel because the director, Jan de Bont, wanted to do something with a boat, and he had this idea...
He had a dream, by the way. That
Well, this is... Yeah.
he had this should be titled Based Upon a Nightmare by Jan de Bont.
A
Because
dream of two large ships slowly moving toward each other.
he had a nightmare where a boat crashed into something, and he woke up and said, that is the sequel.
That is really and truthfully
Is that true?
what happened. Yes.
Oh, come on.
So basically, the writer, Graham Yost, was kicked off the project. Instead, they went with Jan de Bont's dream of a boat crashing into land. And the movie feels exactly like a foreign person's dream about a boat crashing into land.
It feels like a dream where, for some reason, you know how when you're dreaming about someone you know, they'll say goodbye and turn into someone else?
Yeah.
And it feels like that's what happened in his dream is Keanu Reeves was like, excuse me, and just like changed into Jason Patrick for no reason. And then we're off and we're on this boat with him.
And so they try to like write out basically Keanu Reeves in the first scene. And it's so sloppy. I've never seen a movie more sloppy with exposition ever.
Which it says a lot for what we do
Yes.
here on this show.
It's so like, yeah. It's like she literally
She
is
basically says that relationships with daredevils never work out. It didn't work
And that
out.
it only worked out for like 6 months and then she jettisoned him or something. Like
Is that what
they
she
broke up
said?
after 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
because he gave her mace.
Yes.
And she thought it was perfume.
And wound up in the hospital.
yeah. Which really, I don't know what kind of perfume looks like a can of mace.
Although that's a great idea, and if you're in, I'm in.
Yeah,
But
let's
that
do
thing-
it.
To the
I-
tune of $50,000.
I'm actually
Let's do it.
surprised later in the movie when she finds that grenade, she didn't think it was perfume.
Boom!
I also love like the first scene of the movie. They bring back a character from the first movie, like the police chief, and he gets
Joe Morton.
Joe Morton, who
Which, by the way, she does not, we should point out, she does not know that her boyfriend, Jason Patrick, is a daredevil cop.
no, she thinks
she
he's
knows she's a cop
She knows he's a cop, but thinks he's a bike cop
at
on
the
the
on
beach.
Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, what is even more infuriating, she does not know that not only is he a cop, but works with the exact same cop who got her off that bus
Yes.
in the first movie.
and her yes, and she doesn't want to date daredevils, but she is dating a daredevil.
Well, and it's a very strange
Because
setup
they
for
need to basically
Well,
go-
yeah, but it's a strange thing to set up a female character who actively doesn't want a
Adventure.
man who's a hero.
Yeah.
Who saves lives, like actively is looking for not that.
Considering what type of hero Jason Patrick actually is in this
Sure.
movie, she should not want that.
Yeah.
Basically, it basically starts off with two parallel scenes. Joe Morton is leading a special squat team. Squat team. Yeah, squat team.
Yeah, Scott team.
They are leading a SWAT team. I don't even know what they're trying to bust.
I know what
It's
it
a laundry
is.
truck.
Ice cream man?
It's an ice cream truck
Full of
stolen computers.
It's like
because
the-
it's 1993.
It is so uninteresting.
They bring out a SWAT team for one truck of stolen computers,
Yeah.
which all fall out of the back of the truck.
They all are flying out, and meanwhile, Jason Patrick is just chasing it on a motorcycle. Meanwhile, Sandra Bullock is taking her driver's test with Tim Conway, and it's very comical.
In like an SUV convertible.
No,
whatever
she's in
the
a
fuck that car
Volkswagen
was
thing.
it.
It's an old I
Is that
actually
the
love that
actual
car.
title?
It's a
Volkswagen
Volkswagen thing.
There is a car
Wait a
called
minute.
a
Yep.
Thing.
It's from like the 70s or earlier. Even. It's like an old Volkswagen. It's called the Thing.
What?
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Okay.
so in this first
That
scene,
get made
I like the thing.
We have to do an episode of
Full
How Did This
episode.
Get Made?
about
Car
About the
edition.
Volkswagen. Okay, then I also want to do a PT Cruiser then, because I cannot for the life of me figure that disaster out.
They only are sold to rental car agencies.
Yeah, I think so.
and ZZ Top.
Yeah, they're not being made anymore.
Because you tried to buy one.
Yeah.
Again, the clunkiness of this first scene, her driver's test intersects with the SWAT team, and that's how she
That's
finds
how she
out.
figures it
Well,
out.
she also, I mean, she's driving so crazily. People were killed during that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Easily.
Yeah.
Okay, so just.
There's a huge death
If we're doing a
toll.
body count.
There-
Yeah.
there-
If
If you
this
dip-
movie actually happens, there's a huge death toll.
There are deaths that occur due to comedic moments. There are deaths
Yes.
that like her comedically
Correct.
bad driver's exam must have led to 5 deaths.
And to follow that up, then there are comedic moments that follow deaths.
Yes.
So there are deaths and then punchlines immediately after.
Yes. Like there are people that get sucked into the propellers.
Yes.
Right? When they're on the lifeboat rescue. There are two people fall out of the boat, get sucked into the propellers, and she's like, lower the gangplank. And then she's like, can you get these people out of here? It's like,
This is supposed to be a vacation.
Yes,
Yeah.
the vacation.
So basically, she finds out that her boyfriend's a part of the suicide squad of the police force.
Policemen who are willing to commit suicide in pursuit of stolen computers.
We gotta get those computers.
Well, you
my
can
life
tell-
is irrelevant.
I also do love that Joe Morton's first line of the movie is like, the character that the replacement Keanu Reeves is Alex. He goes, "All right, Alex, no stunts and no wrecks." Like that's what he leads it off with.
Meanwhile, Alex is on his motorcycle, driving primarily on one wheel.
Yes.
Primarily in a wheelie form.
No reason why he needed to be driving like that the entire time. So she finds out that she is dating Keanu Reeves because the movie has to continue and they weren't going to
Which, by
rewrite
the way,
it too much.
I don't know if you've ever watched Alien 2 or Aliens, right?
Yes.
Back to back with Alien to the Third Power.
No, I did not see it to the third
Okay,
part.
I watched a marathon.
Alien Cubed.
I watched a marathon of all 4 movies on TV once, but when
Stop
the
bragging.
beginning,
Were you having a nervous
brag.
breakdown?
I grew a super long beard. I ate my fingernails. But you watch all of the second Aliens movie, and for the entire movie, she is trying to save the little kid,
Newt?
right?
Newt.
She's trying to save Newt. She's finally successful. She escapes the aliens, and then if you immediately watch the third Alien movie, it starts with that little kid dead. That
Yes.
all of this was for naught, and that's how I felt like watching this movie. We're so invested in her getting together with Keanu Reeves in that movie, and he's so amazing in it. And then for her to just go,
Wait,
yeah, I broke
wait.
up with him 6 months later.
He's so amazing in it.
I
what
agree
you
with
just
that.
said?
I agree with that. I agree
I
with
think
that.
he's great in Speed.
I think he's
best
great
movie.
in it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's great in it.
Okay, fine. Well, I guess I'm the sole dissenter here.
And girl, he is cut.
But so basically
All
they
right, den mother of comedy.
so the original premise is essentially that Keanu Reeves and her go on a boat trip and the boat is hijacked.
Well, not Keanu Reeves.
But it was written
Oh,
that way.
I'm sorry.
It was written that
Got
way.
it,
He
got it.
turned it down.
Yep.
After
and
reading the script?
After
or-
reading the script, he said that.
Or just after reading the outline or something.
Yeah.
After hearing about the dream.
Well, he said he did not like the script, and he was secure from the success of the first film. And he said that he did a movie called Chain Reaction, and he said he wasn't mentally or physically ready to star in another action film right now.
Oh.
And he went to go tour with Dogstar, his band,
Of course.
instead.
Of course.
But
And
Which we should do another show about
How
Dogstar.
did that?
How did this
Music
get made?
edition.
How did this get made? Dogstar the band.
basically everyone turned down this movie. Sandra Bullock only agreed to be in this movie if they would finance her movie Hope Floats, and then
Good
William
Whoa.
Dafoe was only in this movie after they went to like 10 other guys to be the bad guy, and so was Jason Patrick. It went to Matthew McConaughey, who went on to do Contact, and said John Bon Jovi, who passed.
What?
Oh, that's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, I would love to have seen that. Patrick Muldoon and Christian Slater.
Who's Patrick Muldoon? Who is
he to turn
Wait a
down
second.
Speed?
Yeah.
Who even is Patrick Muldoon?
I'm going to find out right now.
Wait a second. Because you're saying people who are like legitimately
Yeah,
like A-list people, and then you said a name that I've literally never heard.
All right, I'm looking at it right now.
Patrick Muldoon is a pretend person.
He was in Starship Troopers.
I doubt it.
And Days
He's
of Our
a
Lives.
soap actor.
He's a soap actor.
Wow. A soap opera actor turned this down.
Yes.
And
That's
Jason
how-
Patrick.
That's how
you.
bad this script
And
is.
Jason Patrick
Oh,
was
he
like,
was on
I'm in.
Melrose Place. That
Oh,
was his
there
big.
we go.
That was
Okay.
his big thing.
That makes sense.
Yes. So then Jason Patrick finally got it. No one wanted to do this movie.
And so he kind of steps into a role that was written for Keanu Reeves, where I think that if you look at the movie, Keanu Reeves would have been trying to ask Sandra Bullock to marry him. And
Yes.
he would have been invested in their relationship
Yes.
already.
Yeah.
Instead of, when we meet these two, he's about to ask her to marry him, and we are actively rooting against him
Yes.
because we like Keanu Reeves so much.
And also, they appear to have a horrible relationship built upon lies.
Built upon a lie.
Well, first of all, she's been dating him for 6 months, doesn't know about this thing, and then they're like. She doesn't know anything about him, and he's ready to ask her to marry him.
Yeah.
That's. Jan de Bont said that he just rewrote the first scene to establish that was it. The movie is
Otherwise, it's unchanged.
It's unchanged.
Oh my god.
So it's so that speaks volumes of why this movie is so fucking weird.
I wonder if Jeff Bridges would. No, he's dead in the first one. Never mind. Spoiler. Sorry, spoiler.
So basically, they get on the boat. It's a fun cruise ship. You know it because you meet every character you're going to see for the rest of the movie immediately. Like,
Especially Dante.
Dante. I'm a
Hi, my
photographer.
name's Dante. He says my name's Dante
Yes.
like
Okay.
800
his
times.
last line is, "Remember, it's Dante."
I gotta say too.
He says that.
Yes.
Dante's taking pictures the whole time, from beginning to end.
Oh, yes.
As
When
the
the
ship
ship-
is going down, Dante's
As
taking
he
pictures.
is in
Those
the
are gonna be
process
worth a lot
of
of money.
dying,
Yes.
he is taking
He's
pictures.
taking pictures, and I thought for sure these pictures are going to come back, and we're going to
It'll be like that-
reveal clues that way and understand.
It would be like
You
the
know what's-
sequence in
Nope.
Hangover at the end. You
Yeah.
spin
Nope.
me right round, baby,
Baby,
right round. You see like all the golf clubs, William Dafoe.
I like to think that the guy playing Dante, like, that was his actor's process to hope that he would be remembered in the movie, which is not a bad idea if you're an
I
actor.
remembered his name.
Is to constantly say your character name. He's the only one.
Dante.
So they meet Dante, then they meet this weird guy who's kind of like a concierge. He's showing them to his their room.
like the bellhop kind
The
of guy?
bellhop
Is that
guy.
a comedian, Jeremy Hotz?
Maybe I don't have it in front of me right this second, but yeah. So he's like showing them, and then all of a sudden you meet the villain. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you've met every main character, and the villain is William Dafoe, who Jason Patrick immediately is like, this guy's up to something.
He knows
And
exactly.
Yeah.
there is never a second on this enormous ship where they are not within 15 feet of Willem Dafoe.
No.
Like
Yes.
they
I know.
are
And
constantly,
everyone else we've met.
There are hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands, on this cruise ship, and
Yeah.
they are constantly surrounded by the same 8 people.
Well, it's also confusing because Willem Dafoe could have pulled all of this off and like not gone out during the daytime hours. Like
Yes.
he didn't have to do cruise time activities.
Yes.
yeah.
William Dafoe is out enjoying the ship,
Yeah. Yeah.
at the bar. Like, he didn't need to leave the
He
room.
wasn't
You're right.
scouting. He was just.
Yeah.
Well, I
He just hung out with his leeches all afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah, so-
Guys, the leeches.
The leeches. Okay.
The leeches, I kept being like, okay, the leeches are going to play a part in this, a bigger part in this. And
Nope.
Nope.
they
Never came
just
back.
don't.
well, I mean,
Except to be like, there's a tub full of leeches at one point. And I was like, that's
And
some
once
sexy
once
shit.
Jason Patrick sees the leeches, he says, "This is a very sick man.
This is a very
This is a very
sick
man."
puppy.
but it's so funny. It's like I feel like it was done. This movie was done in the era where the bad guys needed some quirk. They couldn't just be bad. Like,
Yeah.
So he was a bad guy who needed leeches that were sucking out the copper that he had been exposed to
Well,
by working on computers.
It seems like as a villain, you need motivation. Like every great actor that they approach probably are like, what's my motivation?
Yeah.
So, unlike The Rock, which has Ed Harris as a villain where you're actually on his side because he's like going farther than you would, but you understand why. Like Willem Dafoe is just a fucking insane person who happens to
Can
have
somebody
leeches.
please explain what he wanted to
Oh.
do? Well, he's worked on the computers for this ship, so he knows everything about it. While he was working on the computers, he got sick.
He got sick.
And they
with-
fired
Hence
him.
the leeches.
Okay, so they fired him
which
because
which I don't think is legal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
he
he
could have
got
pursued a legal course.
He got
and won.
sick. Well, it was 1997. No one was suing their companies back then. This
Law didn't exist.
Yeah, this is before
I see.
9/11. A lot of things
see.
changed. But he basically was a computer expert who got exposed to too much copper from working on computers. And
Exposed to too much copper.
Yeah, which is
Copper.
exactly how computers work.
Which, by the way, is what pennies are made out of, which we carry around, exposing ourselves to constantly.
Well, that's how Abraham Lincoln died.
so he wants revenge on the company that fired him, and the doctors gave him a couple years to live, but these leeches might give him a couple more years to live.
Because he wouldn't trade the leeches for all the doctors in the world, as
Yes.
he says.
Okay. So his revenge though is taking down this
Taking the
boat.
the diamonds.
The diamond, which is the craziest part. He wants to steal the diamonds that are on the boat.
brought on
which-
the boat by passengers.
Brought on the boat
by that jewelry company. Remember, they say, who wants a multi-million-dollar show, blah, blah, blah. Some jewelry company is on the boat, and they are, remember, walking around with all those diamonds.
Yeah.
Some
trying to-
people are buying them for
Yeah.
some weird
Yeah, and
reason.
there's a crazy shot where one of the extras, like one of the women who's showing the jewelry, walks around with the jewelry on a tray.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
women jump out of their
It's like,
seats.
It's like
shit their
Oprah's
pants.
favorite thing.
Stare at the jewelry
Yeah.
that's on her. It's
Yeah.
strangest.
Which then,
Okay.
when the boat, they say abandoned ship, the jewelry company says, "Well, of course, I will leave the diamonds here on this ship," and they get off.
Yeah, they get off the
they
ship
leave
without
them
the-
there.
Well, I mean, look, again, it goes back to like the Die Hard thing too. The villains are so cool, but all they want in the end is just a good score, some bearer bonds or some diamonds.
But he
By the-
wants the money to make him less sick, or to.
That's
I think
what
he
I'm
just wants
trying
the
to
money.
get
No, I
at.
think he just wants the money.
Even though he only has a couple years to live,
because he's going to
even
live
with
it
the
up.
leeches.
He's just going to live it up.
He's just
in these
gonna.
lives.
I think he's gonna go crazy in St. Martin or wherever he
Okay.
is.
Maybe he's
So,
going to
but
buy more
why-
leeches.
Fine, but
Leeches
so
are
why does he
expensive.
have to, after he takes
Or a
the
big copper
diamond?
magnet to like suck the copper out of his body.
That's a great idea.
By the way, just a couple weird things that jumped out at me before we get into the Die Hard section of the movie. Sandra Bullock is just casually watching Lolita while
Yeah,
Alex
what is that about?
asleep.
I
It's so
didn't
odd.
understand that at all.
And, like a long
this-
shot of Lolita is like playing, and she's
Yeah.
just like,
and he's sick, right?
yes, he's been puking in a champagne bucket.
and she's watching Lolita on a boat.
There's another version of this movie which could have just starred Jason Patrick and the deaf
girl.
15-year-old
Oh. I
girl,
thought there was some-
and there would have been because remember the 15-year-old girl is like flirting with him from the word go.
Right.
That's
there is
why
a
she
very
dresses
Lolita
all
thing.
sexy that night.
Yeah.
When she leaves and gets separated
Because
from her parents.
it's all for Alex.
Yes, and so that's why she left. She's trying to find him.
Well, Alex, her father goes, you look like a clown. Get out of here. She doesn't look like a clown. She looks like a 12-year-old girl in a floral print dress.
Yeah, with a little more makeup than girls
little
normally
bit.
wear. Yeah.
And he sends her out. He's like, get out of here, you clown.
Get out of here, deaf girl.
Yeah, and the deaf girl.
And he doesn't even bother to do it in sign language. He just like yells at her.
Yeah.
Well, everybody who signs in this movie also speaks exactly what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I also want to point out that when she wakes up after watching Lolita and Jason Patrick is gone,
Yes.
he's skeet shooting, and somehow she is woken up by the sound of his skeet shooting.
Yeah.
She has gotten the worst cabin
I'll tell you.
on the boat that
Like
must
right
be directly underneath.
Right
And
underneath
by the
the
way,
shotgun
the
range.
bed in that cabin is not a full-size
It's like a
bed.
twin bed.
It's a twin bed
Yeah.
that they're both sleeping on.
They're both sleeping
that
in a
cabin
twin
looked
bed.
like
Yeah.
hell to me.
And it was, by the way, it was referred to as a suite.
Sweet, yeah.
Guys, what can you expect on a Suicide Squad cop salary?
Ah, that's true. That's a good point.
And the other thing is, while he's skeet shooting, who's watching him? Willem Dafoe.
Just check. Oh,
Just like,
Yeah.
because they have to be in the same place at all times.
oh man, Willem Dafoe. Again, he could have the way that he could have gotten those diamonds, got on the boats that left the boat, and been
That's
fine.
what I
He
was
could have
gonna
done
say.
so many things. He has a gun the entire movie, and yet he's killing people by cutting the cords on the
Oh, yeah.
chains that are holding them. Like like he's firing guns at the rope that's holding Jason Patrick to the ship. Like just fire the gun at Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
You're
He
willing
had-
to murder everyone.
No, there's the
He likes
moment where,
Rube Goldberg contractions.
Well, yeah, like the moment where he like comes across Sandra Bullock and the captain guy, and they've got Jason Patrick tied to a rope, and Jason Patrick is underwater, and he's like holding a gun on them, but then instead just flips a lever and hides.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you doing? Shoot those two people."
The only two people
and
that are giving you
everything
trouble.
works out for you. They let go of Jason Patrick. He dies. You kill them. You have the diamonds. Then you can
Goodbye.
flee. But instead, he's like, "I'm going to switch this lever
And I'm
hope
gonna
no
hide.
one notices me.
and hope that I'm gonna hide over here. Hope nobody notices me. Oh shoot, they noticed me.
Well,
oh crap, I guess I'll take a hostage.
Also, by the way, part of this movie relies on everyone being very easily able to get into the ship's cockpit.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Oh, yeah,
able
everyone's
to walk
just
right
wandering
in there.
Yeah.
There's no security in getting into that ship cockpit at any time. Willem Dafoe walks in as a drunk guy, and they're like, oh, this drunk
And
guy's
they give him a lot of latitude.
Yeah.
By the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
They let him
Yeah.
hang out there for a good 20
he falls
minutes.
on all the major controls.
He falls on all the major controls, puts all these different devices all over the central cockpit. And then later on, when Alex comes in, fake Keanu comes in, he like starts shooting at the cockpit
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure, yeah,
No
no one
one's ever
cares.
being taken into
No one's
arrest.
ever like, hey man, stay
Yeah.
away from this cockpit. This stuff's kind of important. Hey, Paul, did you have the clip of Willem Dafoe attacking the captain? when
That's the one
stuff
that I
starts
wanted
going
to
down?
play. Yeah,
'Cause that has my favorite line in the thing. If,
Yeah.
if,
That was
if
the
we
first
get
That
to
was
it.
what
Yeah.
we just were playing because it's the one
the
where
first one.
Oh,
He's-
I
he
thought you
has
were
the
cutting it.
swinging
I thought-
lamp.
yeah, that's I thought that clip was, but
Yeah. I would love. I would
can
love
we?
to hear
Well,
that
let's just
effect.
try it again.
Still 4 degrees off course. Did you check the mainframe, Eric?
I think it's a little bit after.
Captain Pollard, good evening. How can you be running the ship if you're not on the bridge? Who is running the ship? Oh, yeah, I am.
What is this? Who are you?
I spent a great many years developing computer systems for these cruise lines, including this baby. And then I got tossed away.
What are you talking about?
That's what really infuriates me. You don't even know what I'm talking about. How dare you!
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is my favorite line, which is, that's what really infuriates me. You don't even know what I'm talking about. That's not the favorite line. The favorite line is the captain saying, how dare you? How dare he what? Insinuate that someone doesn't know what he's talking about? That's what this script, or this movie obviously does not have a script, and they improv'd all these scenes. And there's so much bad improv going on to where people are trying to heighten things that should not be
Do
heightened.
you think during the scene, and I hate to cut to later in the movie, but when Sandra Bullock, like sort of
Bullock.
Block.
Biloxi Blues.
Sandra Biloxi Blues drives away in a jet ski, like sort of figures out how to detach her jet ski from Willem Dafoe's jet ski.
Yeah, which is basically
He's
she
chasing
pulls
it.
the
She pulls
lever
one
that
lever.
says detached
Yeah.
jet ski.
She pulls one lever, and then he calls after her. Wait, you're my hostage! You're my hostage.
In this scene, the sound you're hearing inexplicably is Willem Dafoe is swinging a stationary lamp back and forth that it has like a range of about 3 feet,
Yeah.
as if it is itself a threatening object
Yeah.
to the captain. And as long as the captain stays further than 3 feet away from him, Willem Dafoe's just
Or
moving
Jason,
a lamp.
But it gets
or
so
Jason, he could have
infuriated.
just turned around and walked
It walked away.
Yeah.
Just literally walked away.
Walked away.
Oh, there's
Said,
a-
I'm not going over there.
But
I'm
it's
gonna
as
There's
if-
that drunk guy from last night.
Yeah,
Okay, goodbye.
It's as if the swinging lamp is like the deadliest
Yeah.
of weapons.
And it's hypnotizing him to come closer.
And it does, in fact, lead to his death.
It does. He gets
knocked off
off
because
the
he got
ship.
too close. Conceptually, though, the first movie is interesting because you have a bus, it's out of control, people on it, they could die. You know, it's
There's inherent tension.
exactly. This one, first of all, you're following the wrong character because she's not a hero.
She doesn't do anything.
She doesn't
in this
do
movie, by
anything.
the
She
way.
doesn't punch. You always are ready for her to be like, when is she going to deliver the punch? When is she
She
going to
does
do?
take out that chainsaw
She does use the chainsaw.
She uses a chainsaw.
with Dante's help.
But she's basically like, I'm on vacation. Oh, this is happening
She
again.
puts a bikini on very quickly.
very quickly.
She's in a bikini and a sarong like immediately.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wait.
purple sunglasses.
One of my
Purple tinted
favorite
sunglasses.
She's
clothing.
also way too tan.
Well, she's
Yeah,
been
I
shooting
agree.
for a while. One of my favorite moments in the movie is Jason Patrick goes down to work underneath the boat, and he's like in this wet white shirt, and he rips it off, and then he runs into another room, and then immediately the next scene, he's putting on like a black shirt. Like clearly he did not want to be
Yeah.
shirtless for like the second section of this movie.
Right.
So like, they don't justify where that shirt came from. Like, it wasn't like he went back to his room or anything like that. Like, he just found a random new clean shirt that he
Random
just puts
shirts.
on. Random shirt.
in case of
Emergency.
shirtless break glass. And they just right
good.
out of the box
Good,
shirts.
nice tight shirt.
Let
Good
me
shows
take the
up my
safety
muscles.
pins out of
The
these.
weird thing about this movie conceptually, though, too, is that the stakes keep on changing, but not necessarily heightening. So it's like you think where the boat's headed toward
A tanker.
on this course. No, at first
No,
toward
first
this
to
island.
the cliffs.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
toward the cliffs, and that's pretty bad. But then it's headed to a tanker, which is also pretty bad. It's
Yeah.
like there's no.
And on the
There's
tanker,
no
by the way.
story. The movie is just traps. The movie is a
Yeah.
series
Plus,
of traps.
Jason Patrick has no reason to do anything he's doing. They can get off the boat.
Yes.
What does he care?
Yeah.
What does he care other than this guy is breaking the law? He is putting so many people in danger.
So many people
He
actually
floods
die.
the ship. He floods the ship
Yes.
while
Yeah.
a deaf girl is down below. Simply because this guy is breaking the law and he needs to be caught. What do you care?
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah,
on
get
the
off the boat.
suicide squad. That's what they do. They put their lives at risk. Yeah, it makes and the action is so boring. It seems so.
And shot in slow motion too.
Oh my god! When it would cut to slow motion during action sequences, I would be like, "This is horrible."
Well, there's also I do think they ran into a problem with shooting the action, which is that the boat, even at moving like 17.6 knots, is still moving at a pretty slow pace.
Yeah, which-
It's a
yeah.
boat
It's a gigantic
not-
ship.
There's
in
nothing to
open
scale.
water.
Yeah, there's nothing to show you how
There's
quick
nothing to
it's
show scale. Like if they were to show a dolphin and it whizzing by a dolphin who was like, "Oh my god, that's a fast boat!" Like maybe you would get something.
Yes, but the other problem too is like they have, as the boat gets closer and closer to land, they're sort of hitting this resort town, and there are all these other just water
Which, by the way,
skiers
nobody
and
notices.
Yeah,
Nobody notices.
Until
No one
they're
knows it.
looking
A cruise
directly at.
liner is coming right at them.
like people literally the boat, like the giant ass cruise liner is 4 feet away, and they're like, "Oh shit! I should move my boat
yeah.
now."
Oh, I gotta jump off my boat.
Yep. But even
well,
people
no,
on
no.
the boat don't notice either.
But no one is jumping off the boat. That's the other thing
No.
that I.
Yes.
No
No,
one thinks to ever jump off the
That's
boat.
about-
People are more willing to jump off the Twin Towers than they are willing to jump off this boat in this
soon. Too
movie.
Too soon.
Way too soon.
But I felt the same way. Like when they were getting close to land, it's like, "Oh, that's shallow now. Just jump off the boat."
No,
Yeah,
wait,
there are
wait,
water
wait. Okay,
skiers
hang
out
on.
there.
Time out. I think what they tried to establish was that if you jumped and or fell
get
off the
sucked
boat,
into
you
the
get sucked into the propellers.
Sure.
So that's
okay.
why people weren't jumping off the boat. That's my belief.
Okay,
And they're just
but-
hoping for the best that they're going to crash into. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
What would you do?
What would I have done?
Yeah.
I would have tried to find Willem Dafoe and punched him in the nose and been like, "Oh, I would have flooded the ship."
Flooded the ship.
There
I would've-
also
Grab those
is a
leeches.
lifeboat that you see hanging
Yes.
from ropes that you could very easily get onto
Yes.
at any point and cut off the ropes.
but
and
they
then-
can't. Like, they can't get the. I mean, you could fall, I guess, in the lifeboat.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
Not
but that's
that
what I
high,
mean. Cut
not
it,
that high.
Like
It's
cut off
pretty
the rope.
high.
It's gonna float.
You're
though.
a coward.
Yeah.
You are a coward.
How about you cut the ropes and then you jump in the water and you hold on to it?
How about when the deaf girl's mother is like, our daughter's still in there, and she tries to climb out, and by climbing out, knocks the balance of the lifeboat off.
Craziest
Two
scene.
people fall out, get sucked into the propellers, and die. And then her husband goes, don't worry, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
It is
Yes,
100% your fault.
150%.
It's no one's fault but hers.
And every time Sandra Bullock and Jason Patrick reunite, like which happens frequently, right?
Right.
They'll have their separate adventures and they'll reunite. I genuinely feel like he would rather punch her in the face than kiss her. I feel like he hates her.
I want to talk about two other lines that were.
I feel like he, as an actor, hates
Hated
Sandra
her.
Bullock
Oh.
as an actor.
you feel like irritation.
There's
coming
no
from him.
chemistry
Oh, yeah.
between these two.
Yeah.
The two lines that I love that are so well. You know what? We should play a clip between Sandra Bullock and the second clip here between Sandra Bullock and Jason Patrick.
Yeah, I'm fine. What's happening? Why did the shift start up again? Why did you leave me upstairs? I know we have a situation. What?
Geiger's taking over the ship.
Geiger, I'm not looking at my golf game, Geiger? What?
Geiger, I'm a computer psycho. Geiger, I design all the software. And Geiger, I can blow up everything.
Why would he do that? I don't know. Well, where is he? What?
Everywhere.
He's everywhere.
By the way, I want to point out that when the guy who takes everyone's luggage to their
Yes.
cabins, he knocks on Willem Dafoe's door. He walks in and sees a computer. And he immediately realizes that this guy is a villain.
Oh my
A
God!
computer in a cabin?
Guys,
What is this guy up to?
Also,
Can
why
we-
is the bellhop doing the turn down service? The bellhop is
Yes.
not the same
Not
guy.
those are not his duties.
Can we also talk about, just to talk briefly about the technology in this movie? All of the
do you mean the
computers...
fiber optic converters?
Fiber optic converter is amazing. But they were all of the computer prompts were English.
Yes.
They were like, the computer would ask him time to initiate, and he would type in now. like everything was like conversational.
Yeah, instead of clicking on something.
There was no commands. There was no it was
was he
just
speaking to?
everything was conversational. It made everything the computer did was like, warning, we have a problem.
Well, there's a guy in India
hilarious.
he's communicating with.
it made me so furious. Every screen would say stuff that was like literally as if the computer was talking language to the typer.
My favorite line of the whole movie is Alex confronts William Dafoe and
Please start calling him Willem.
Willem and Willem.
I'm begging you.
And Willem goes. He has
Wilhelm.
something. He has something in his hand. He goes. It's not a gun. It's a computer.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's wearing basically a Nintendo Power Glove. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna just go drown right now. And then he types in like some in his hands, and then like walls start shutting.
And then the
down.
door, he has instant access to close individual doors on the boat with the Super Nintendo controller that he has strapped to his arm.
By the way, at that moment, Jason Patrick, I don't know if you noticed this, but fires the gun at him, is willing to murder him
Yes.
at this point.
immediately.
Immediately
By the
willing
way,
to murder
he
him.
should be willing to murder him.
Well, he
only-
hasn't done anything at this point.
The
other-
only thing that he knows is that this guy is interested in getting his golf clubs on the ship,
Yes.
and it's weird that he is not watching the golf game on the TV.
And he set up some fake fires on the
Yes.
ship. That's all he's done. He's made people abandon the ship and set up fake fires. He is going to straight up murder this man. There's one line that I wanted to point out, which was Willem Dafoe says to Alex. He says, I don't know what it's referring to, but he says, "I'm a smart guy, Alex, and even I know that." I'm pretty sure the line should be, "I'm a dumb guy, and even I know that." Like, if you're a smart guy and you know that.
Like Nodoy, I know that.
Right
as
as
a
rain.
smart guy, like Nodoy, we all know that.
I think you are right, Scott, that they did not have a script because there's lines that they're so weird.
Zero
There's
sense.
one opening shot, like after people have been like hurt on the ship, a guy comes over and goes, "Here are some more giant towels." And just like puts me like, I was
Some
like,
more giant towels.
Here are some
I
more
just think
giant towels.
Jan de Bont being like, okay, you come over, you say something like here.
He probably says, "Go refer to
are-
those giant towels."
here
You're
are
like,
some giant
Jan, are
towels.
you sure you want me to say something
Yes,
about
he will
giant towels?
He will say giant towels. Then the camera will very quickly move to see somebody else. Like there are
then
whip
slow
pans,
motion.
Yeah.
whip pans in this movie that are just like jarring.
Well,
Yeah.
nothing makes sense. Even the oil tanker that they're going to be crashing into, they're watching TV or movies about boats crashing into boats. Yeah,
I didn't notice
Oh
that.
yeah, when they're on the,
The
oil
ironic
tanker.
TV.
Yeah, they're watching.
They have their TV sets to the ironic channel that you see in so many movies.
It's like somebody in an airplane disaster movie. Like, oh yeah, I'm just watching this DVD of airplanes blowing up. I hope that doesn't.
I'm really bummed I didn't get to. Like, I bet if there's a Jan de Bont commentary, I bet it's amazing.
Oh my god.
I think he stopped working. Like he only made like 2 more movies.
Well, he
after
became
this,
like
right?
a DP.
Well,
like,
he was a DP.
No, he was a
beforehand,
DP, and then he
went back to it.
Back
Oh,
to being
really?
a DP. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Good.
like Rennie Harlan. Like,
Yeah.
Jan de Bont and Rennie Harlan are, like, to me, the same person.
They would have given them anything.
Foreign, like, directors who made a big splash and then kind of, like, shit
Their
the
second
bed.
movie is the worst.
Yeah.
Leonard Part 6 was a movie he directed.
Oh, what?
Jan de Bont? Jan de
yep.
Bont, didn't
no,
he do Twister?
he didn't direct. He couldn't.
Oh,
direct.
cinematographer. He was
Yeah,
a,
okay.
Thank the Lord.
as a director, he only directed 6 movies.
Well, he did Speed and Twister, which were successes.
Yes, The Haunting, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, and he's in right now pre-production on 5 Minutes to Live.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he's back. He's back in.
Guys, let's all get auditions for that.
This is it. 2 men conducting a bank robbery inform the manager she'll be killed unless she makes a money transfer within 5 minutes.
Sounds like Speed 2 in a bank.
Yeah.
Also, that's a really short period of time for a movie. That should be like a Funny or Die short. Like the 5 minutes to live. Like,
Maybe it is a funnier
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
It doesn't say.
A 90-minute movie that takes place within 5 minutes.
All right, let's talk about this boat. The big scene at the end. The big scene at
The
the
only
end.
reason for this movie to exist.
The 10-minute... Did anybody time it?
Yes, it is right
so
here.
long. It is an eternity.
It feels like an eternity.
I guessed 10 minutes. I wrote 10 minutes.
I guess infinity.
June, you want to take how long it is?
I'd say about 12 minutes.
Okay. Well, it is a 5
From the
minute.
time-
It is a 5 minute scene when it
No.
starts crashing. When I think it starts hitting the dock.
Oh, okay,
okay.
but there's
All right.
a lot of lead up to that.
There is a lot of lead up, but okay, yes. When the boat, if this what we're talking about is when the boat smashes into land.
Right. They direct the boat into like a little
There's
harbor.
got to be 5 minutes before that where they're like, we're going to crash, though.
No, there is. That's when they're hitting all the boats, and by hitting the boats, they're slowing down inexplicably.
And by the way, they're dropping the anchor for the first time. This is
Yeah.
actually...
That was a
Yes.
brand new idea.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what if we drop this anchor?
and wait a minute, drop the other one. Oh,
Why don't we drop both at the same time, you fucking idiot?
It's stuck.
This movie, it cost $25 million to do this sequence.
Just this sequence.
Just the sequence.
What?
$25 million. It took 6 months to build this town that they crashed through. They built 35 buildings. And then the boat, the boat, it's the whole front of the ship, and then they CGI'd in the back of the ship, runs through the entire town like on a track.
Thousands of people must have died.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like hundreds
Yes.
of people were killed
Well,
if
no.
this was real.
If it was real, but that's the point is like every single time it crashes into anything, it's like an episode of the A-Team. You see someone jumping out of the way.
Yes.
You know,
Every cliche.
No one dies in this movie.
Every cliche you could possibly ever see in this final boat thing, like people having sex. And
the
they're like, "Whoa!"
the open close sign.
Oh, yeah, open, close.
The guy like flips a close sign to open, sees the boat, flips it back to close.
The guy who has a brand new car who's like, oh, my car!
Which, by the way, I have Kulop's sister's son staying with us, who's 2 years old, and he was running around during this movie. And, you know, it was a pretty grim viewing. None of us were laughing at anything. The guy says, my car! And then the anchor drops into his car.
And then the dog pops
He
up.
bursts out laughing like it's the funniest thing he has ever seen. And he doesn't really understand comedy or anything, but he just knew the cadence of that was a
Sure.
joke.
That's amazing.
And I believe that guy was a cameo from the first movie. Like he I think had his car
really?
also
was he?
destroyed in the first
okay.
movie. I think.
Well,
It
during
seems
that
like
sequence, we also follow that little dog.
By the way,
through-
he's coming out of he's also coming out of a 7-Eleven, which is like in this weird island. Like everything is like really rustic, and then
Yeah.
it's like this weird like
Yeah, it's like a
7-Eleven.
I wonder if
Worked out.
7-Eleven paid for that
Yeah.
at all.
But yeah, that little dog who we watched try to escape pops up out of that car and makes it in the end. Thank God.
But the guy's not excited. He wasn't like, my dog. He was like,
I don't think
my
that was his
dog.
dog.
My wife.
The mom and the son who are looking at an apartment with a real estate dealer, and the boat, the cruise liner plows right through their prospective home. Like, those people are without a doubt dead.
No, they jumped out of the way.
Nope, they jumped out of the way.
I was curious about those two because they're looking at an apartment in this resort town. There's no father figure there. Like, I wanted to know about their story.
What's their story?
Let's follow them.
Oh, and also, I want to point out that at one point the ship knocks over a giant champagne bottle, and when it knocks it over, like, champagne comes out of it.
Right.
As if they would make a giant sculpture of a champagne bottle, and they're like, "Well, we got to fill this up.
Gotta have
We
real
got to
champagne
make
in
this seven like it's."
Why aren't the young street toughs who live in this town like going and poking holes in this thing?
It's not like a
Trying to get
water.
wasted.
Oh man! Oh, I forgot about my favorite action sequence in the whole movie.
Okay.
The turn the wheel sequence.
Oh, underwater, turn the wheel?
The most boring action of all time. Basically, Jason Patrick and this other guy, Dante, have to unscrew a wheel, and they can only do it at 15-second intervals, and they just keep on cutting back to them, like, turning it for like 3 turns, and the other one comes out
Pretty
and
hard to
turns
turn.
it. Then the other one comes out.
I
Like,
wonder if Dante's camera got messed up.
You know, it was
during
waterproof.
that. Oh, it was?
Waterproof
Oh, thank
camera.
God. Thank God.
Oh, thank goodness.
so the whole city is destroyed. The ship stops. It hits the bell on a church.
Bong.
Everything is okay.
And the guy-
relatively.
Well, but
Yeah.
first they plow into the city and the ship stops, and we think everything's okay.
They
And
would have
then-
killed so many people on the beach, let alone in every building they destroyed.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yes, but then
structurally.
the ship starts to fall over too.
Oh,
yeah.
and that would have killed another 100,000
sure.
people, at least.
For sure.
And then they have to go back and basically Jason Patrick is like jumps out the front window of the ship.
Which, by the way, the Willem Dafoe had left the ship on the dual jet skis that we all know and love.
Yeah.
With Sandra Bullock, probably 3 hours earlier.
Yes.
Jason Patrick jumps off this boat that's just crashed, gets into another boat, catches up with them in 90 seconds.
And he's like, I gotta find my girlfriend.
Time is pretty elastic in this movie, though. Like it's dinner time when when Willem Dafoe, I think, starts evacuating people, and then he goes on a walk through that ship. Then they walk outside, and it's morning.
day. Yeah.
It's like 11 a.m.
This is a dream. The
and
whole
Willem
movie
Dafoe
is a dream.
still walking
That's
around.
true. The whole movie is kind of just a dream.
Uh-huh.
It's like the movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long movie.
I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I was like,
this
come on.
before Titanic?
It was, yeah.
2007,
which,
I believe this was.
Which,
Oh, no, sorry, not 97.
Titanic actually just, shows you how a ship crashing, you can actually have tension
Good.
because
Yeah.
So well.
there would be
Yeah.
people drowning. There, it was actually really good in telling you how people were going to die and be in peril in that movie.
Well, let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, so this movie, now we're in the final act here. Willem Dafoe's getaway. Again, like, now you're just like, when is this going to be over? Like,
So boring.
what is
He
going
also
on?
keeps taunting her about her vacation. He's obsessed with the idea
Yes.
that she's on vacation because he says to her several times, "Enjoying your vacation?"
Yeah.
Or he says, like, how do you think your vacation is going to be different now that you're a hostage?
And he also says, "You'll never get me, Spider-Man."
Do you think when he's first talking to her at the bar in that opening scene that's what he was talking about? Because I don't think we actually hear dialogue.
No.
You're
She's just
probably
laughing.
right. She probably
Talking
said,
about
"I'm
the
on vacation." Which, by the I don't mean to go back, but I feel like we skipped the worst dialogue in the movie.
Oh,
the extended metaphor when he's about to ask her to marry him, where
brother.
he's saying, "Can I order a la carte?" Well, no, you're going to have to order from the menu. Well, what if I wanted to order something from you? Well, it depends on what section you're sitting in.
How's the
well,
service? Am I going to get tips?
How didn't they get lost in the middle of that? Because it goes on forever.
I could not follow.
By the way,
And everybody at the table is watching them.
Yeah.
And like listening. It was like
Well, his final proposal, though, is no better. When he says, "Do you want to wear this ring for a while?"
and by
That's
the way,
the worst
by the way,
fucking line I've ever heard.
by the way, props to whatever pants he was wearing because that ring.
Props to the pants.
Because that ring stayed securely in his
Mad
pants
props to
pocket
those pants.
the entire movie. Like he kind of shoves the ring in his pocket very early on.
Mm-hmm.
He has been tossed out of windows. He's been under the boat.
And
he's been
for
fighting
people who
off
haven't
giant
seen it, it's not in a ring box. It is in
No,
a
it's
pouch.
just a ring.
It
Yeah.
is in a pouch with
Yep.
like one clasp and open flaps.
Which is not how, as a man who's proposed to a woman, you want to carry your ring.
Yeah, of
You want
course.
to be a little more sure of it.
Hey, you want to wear this for the rest of your life?
Or something.
No, do you want to wear this for a while?
Wow. And she goes,
You want
"Ah."
to shove this on your finger for a couple of weeks?
And she goes, for how long? He goes, 50 years. Like that was his. He's like,
Like,
That
we'll
was
be
such
dead
a
in
bummer.
50
That
years,
was a
probably.
bummer.
What, you
It
want us
is-
to die
I'm
at
telling
80?
you, he actively hates her.
Yeah.
By the
Do we
way,
have to be married after we're
He
dead?
would rather, like, have his adventures than be with her or
And
protect
she
her.
is in danger solely because of his actions.
She's in danger. All they needed to do is get on
Get
the
off the
lifeboat.
boat. Get off
Get
the
on that
boat.
lifeboat.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Something. And she's
Someone's
like, wait,
breaking
what?
the
And he's
law.
like, go over there, do that. Like, he literally, like, throws her away like garbage. Repeatedly. Literally throws her away like
By the way, the only thing that they could really take from the first movie is that
Literally.
is that famous line, which I'm going to butcher, but is that line is like, relationships that start in extreme circumstances don't work. They say that about 4 times in
He
the movie.
says it to the deaf girl when she tells him
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
loves him
Yeah.
and will be 15 soon.
Which at
was
the very
disturbing.
beginning of this
i.e.
movie,
good to go.
the fact that she broke
Disturbing.
up with Keanu Reeves proves that to be true. But they keep saying it like it's a cute thing
Yeah.
from the movie. No, they don't work.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Didn't work. Did not
and
work.
that's a bummer for those of us who saw the first movie.
And
You know
we're
that-
rooting for them.
I've heard that Jan de Bont is making a Speed 3, but the characters in it are Jason Patrick and the 15-year-old girl.
Okay,
They are
that
a-
shot when that girl takes off her her jacket
talk slower.
Oh, yeah.
Talk slower.
is
Oh, yeah.
so upsetting. And the sequence when they first make eyes at each other from across.
Oh, and he
from
like
across
he
the dining room.
it's
what do you
like,
want her to
guys,
do? Make ears?
No, guys, it's a meet cute. Jason Patrick, a grown man, has a meet cute with a 14-year-old girl from across the room. He is more interested in chatting with her via sign language than talking to the woman he's having
Who's
sex
hanging
with,
on
who's
him.
sitting next to him. It is absolutely disturbing. And then when he saves the little girl, she basically is like, I want to be with you. Lolita
15.
is already in the mix. Like,
Yeah,
I
we've
swear to
already
God-
Yeah.
laid down some track
I
here.
swear to God,
And
Jan
he
de Bont is
basically
like,
says-
the real couple in this
Yeah.
is the girl.
Yeah.
And,
But his response, like you said, is not like that's not appropriate, that's
Yeah.
not possible. It's just like these aren't the right circumstances right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's keeping it
But
alive.
he's
You know, he doesn't
That's
want to
what I'm
close
saying.
the
Keeping a window
door.
open.
Speed
Let's not
3.
close this, yeah.
Speed 3. It's Lolita. It's on an airplane.
But the airplane it's a commuter jet and it only has 30 minutes to get to where it's going.
love it.
And then the saddest death scene of all time, like Willem Dafoe,
Wilhelm.
Dafoe's plane gets stuck on like an antenna,
Which is impossible.
Yes, totally impossible. It gets stuck on an antenna, and
Defying
then
the laws of physics and of man.
100% gas comes out, and it explodes up a giant tank. Like nothing in this movie, everything explodes here in this movie. Like they hit a sailboat at one point, and the sailboat explodes into a fire. It's a fucking sailboat.
Yeah.
Where was the
Yeah,
gas?
but then you
There's
cut
no engine.
to a raft where the people who own the sailboat are like successfully.
Don't worry,
rafting
they're
away.
fine. They're
Yeah,
fine.
They're okay.
But yeah, so it's the worst.
Wait, my favorite one of those was when they're the boat is screaming through the like where all the little boats are and stuff, running over boats, and there's a dude on like jet skis or a wakeboard rather. A dude on a wakeboard who's being towed, and the boat cuts across, cutting the boat
Yes.
and the guy off, and you just see in slow motion as the guy on the wakeboard like jumps up and like clang hits right into the side,
of the boat.
of the cruise liner.
But it's also useless action too.
It's useless, and it's also like, how did you not see this cruise liner this close?
Everyone's on their vacation. Obviously, we did not like this movie.
Hippies, get the hippies. Remember the hippies, the hippie boat?
Oh, the hippie
With
boat.
the tie-dye
yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Peace?
Can I just say? Can we
Gotta
talk
be
about?
messing with my head, man.
Can we talk about the very end of the movie, the last shot of the movie?
Yeah, sure.
Sandra Bullock is back with Tim Conway. She's in her driver's test again, and they can't resist like adding one more joke because
Right.
she drives off, it fades out, and you hear crash.
Yes. From a bus.
From a bus. Ostensibly, she is dead.
Yes. She's like, yeah, you hear that crash.
And other innocent people are dead too.
Yes.
So obviously we did not like this movie, but some people did. So it's now time for a second opinion. These are reviews culled from Amazon, 5-star reviews. I want to point out that one person who really liked this movie is Roger Ebert. Siskel and Ebert
They both
gave
gave it
this
thumbs up. The
2
only critics
thumbs
in
up.
the world.
The only critics. This movie has a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. Roger
Wow.
Ebert says, movies like this embrace goofiness with a sensual pleasure.
Sensual.
Yes.
Hold on, Roger Ebert.
And so on a warm summer evening, do I.
Ew.
Did he finger someone to this movie?
Grosso.
Yeah, that was that movies to finger to, Speed 2, Cooker's Girl. All right, so these are some reviews from Amazon. This is from S. LeMay. Honestly, this movie is amazing. I'll keep it brief and honest. Patrick,
Okay.
better than Reeves.
Ugh.
Defoe, better than Hopper. Bullock, better than Bullock.
What?
5 stars.
Amazing.
That's a joke review. That's good.
Well,
That is
wait. To be fair, he might be saying that she was better than Jim J. Bullock's performance in the first Speed.
In the one where he gets raped in the van.
Yes.
This is another one from Ronnie Clay. Now, these are written back in the day. These are not new ones.
Okay.
America, y'all stupid for not loving this movie. Look up the word talent. It's better than
Hold on.
Titanic,
I'm gonna
I'll
look up
say.
the word talent. Hold on.
And he goes, it was fun trying to see those 2 guys turn the cruise ship hard to the right so it wouldn't crash into that other ship.
No.
What was really exciting was the cruise ship wouldn't stop once it reached the beach, and it kept on crashing into buildings and wrecking little boats. 5 stars.
Oh, God.
I would like to follow up with that person now and be like, do you
right.
know that this is what you were doing in 1997?
And finally,
This is how you wasted your time.
Hammy Big Fan writes,
Hammy, big
okay.
fan.
dude, this movie rocks. It's got everything. Sandra Bullock and boats. That is why this movie
That's
is awesome.
everything.
Those are the only
5
two
stars.
things
Everything.
It's
that
got
he wants.
everything. Sandra Bullock and
Is there another movie that
He
has
must have
Sandra
been-
Bullock and boats
He
in
must
it?
have been disappointed by
House?
The Lake House. He loves it.
Hope
He loves-
Floats, right?
he loves
Or at
the
least
Lake
he was really upset by Hope Floats. He's like, it seems like there should be Sandra Bullock and something.
There's the
floats."
2 things I love in this movie.
So those are some second opinions. If you guys have an opinion about this show, log on to iTunes and rate our show. It helps us, I guess, in the whole world of iTunes. It's an important thing to rate and review our show. And your reviews have been great already, but give us a rating and review. We appreciate that. All right. Now, would you even recommend anyone going to see this?
I don't know. It's so long and so boring for long stretches
Yeah.
of time that I would almost say no.
There is zero excitement in it. I saw it opening day because
Oh my
I just
God.
saw every movie that
Yeah.
came out back then. And I didn't remember any of it. I watched this again with totally new eyes. So there's not a single scene that is exciting. I mean, nothing.
No,
nothing.
Usually in a bad
Boring.
movie, there's one thing that you go, well, that was pretty
Well,
cool.
especially like an action movie. Like
Right.
you would assume that at least some of the action will sell you on
Right.
bad dialogue or bad whatever. But
It's
this
bloated.
is just
It's bloated in
Oh,
every
yes.
sense.
Yeah.
It's a waterlogged. How about that?
Oh, boy.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm taking over.
Proud of you.
June, what do you say? No?
I don't know. I think it's kind of watchable. It is long.
It's watchable
Way
in the
too long.
sense of it's not like I guess a boring movie. I mean, it
I
is
stopped
boring.
it so
I
many
don't know.
times that I was like, gotta take
I
a break.
fast forwarded because I was like, this is like deadly.
Yeah, the action.
I
Oh,
guess
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say if you want to watch it, just watch Speed 1. You know?
Yeah, Speed 1's better.
Yeah.
Scott, this is a new feature we're going to do. We'll see how
Okay.
this works. What is your favorite bad summer movie? Like a big blockbuster that you felt did not work. Do you have any things
That's really bad that I like.
or
do you
yeah,
mean,
bad that
or-
was like that yeah, something you might recommend, like a Batman and Robin, a Wild Wild West, anything like that sticks out to you.
I love The Rock and Con Air. Those are actually like 2 really good ones to me. I mean, Con Air
Con
is
Air-
not good.
No,
Con
but
Air
it,
is
The Rock
amazing.
The Rock is technically a really
I
good
really
one.
like The Rock.
The Rock is great. Con Air is great.
Con Air is
I-
great while being terrible.
Yes. I mean, it is like
I love that movie.
We back in the day when Mr. Show was happening, we would go
Name
to
Here we
Mr.
go.
Show. We would go to
we get
movies.
it.
Oh, we know
get
you
it.
do this guy, Mr. Show, whatever.
We would go to movies dressed as whatever was happening in that movie. So Paul F. Tompkins, John Matta,
Name
BJ
drop.
Porter, and I went to see Con Air dressed as convicts in prison jumpsuits.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Oh man, Con Air. We should watch that. That would be a fun one to talk about.
We have to get
That's
back.
actually really good.
Yeah.
We have to get back to Nicolas Cage. I'm a little worried. It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been some
Too
time since
long.
we talked some Cage. Scott, you have a brand new show on IFC coming up, which I'm sure you just
This
heard in the ad.
Friday at 10 p.m., Comedy Bang Bang. This Friday we have Zach Galifianakis in it, Will Forte, Andy Daly, Gillian Jacobs, myself, Reggie Watts. But every Friday at 10, but I hope people watch it.
It's going to be great. And so if you like the podcast, you'll love the show.
And even if you hate the podcast, I think you'll still like the show.
Hey, look, yeah, you may
Look, I get it.
Yeah, you're open to anybody liking the show.
Sure.
Yeah,
I understand.
Watch it. Just watch
Whatever
it.
your
Decide
feelings
whether
are.
you hate it or not, but just watch it.
yeah, guys, watch it. You
By
can-
all means, let me know if you hate it immediately.
Just
Get
so
on a
people can
message
just
board.
tweet at you how much they dislike what you.
That's
what
the
you're
best
doing.
thing about Twitter is it's like everyone has your email.
all right, so definitely watch Comedy Bang Bang on IFC. June, anything you'd like to talk about?
No.
What about Burning Love? You're great in that.
Oh, I forgot. Burning Love is a web series I did with Ken Marino, Janet Varney.
It comes out this week. I
It
think.
comes out this
Really
Monday, June 4th on yahoo.com.
Yeah, and
excited about it?
burninglove.com
Pretty
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen
and
it. It's
Burning
really
Love-
fun.
It's
Yeah, it's
really,
great.
really funny. If you like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, you will like this a lot. Jason, you're still in The Dictator.
I'm still in The Dictator. They have not cut me out.
When does that happen? Because I'm waiting until then.
3 weeks in, they're going to cut my part out completely. Yeah, go see The Dictator. It's in theaters now.
I am on a movie that just came out on Friday on video on demand and in 75 movie theaters called Piranha 3 Double D.
I didn't know it came out.
Oh, this Friday. Well, it just passed.
I'm sorry.
So, Brian, if you wanted to see what happened to my character and how I became friends with Ving Rhames in the sequel, you have to wait till about 30 minutes into a 65-minute movie. But you can watch it.
65 minutes?
It's pretty short. It's about, I think, 70-something minutes all told. And there's about
God.
12 minutes of bloopers. I do think that Piranha 3 Double D has one of the best lines in history spoken. I will not give it to you, but you can watch it. Said by Katrina Bowden from 30 Rock.
Will you do a podcast about that movie? Do you think?
I feel like
or
I
are you
wonder
staying
if I
away
would,
from your own project?
I feel like I would get in trouble on some level if I did that. It was only
I'm
there
excited. I'm excited. I'm going to get that VOD.
VOD. It will not be in 3D, but there are plenty of boobs. Plenty of boobs.
All right.
Plenty of boobs.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I love
There you
that.
go. We're all
I like at least 3 per person.
It's all like a Total Recall. It's all 3 boobs. Scott Aukerman on Twitter, Miss June Diane on Twitter, at Paul Scheer on Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter, guys.
Yeah. Dave Steffi, thank you for pulling our clips. Cody, thank you so much for being an engineer. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye bye.